Okay, now let's solve a system with three variables, x, y, and z, using Cramer's rule. It works very similar to the 2 by 2. First, we get the regular D. We take the A, B, C columns, put the coefficients, and find the determinants. Then we get dx. We take out the A column and replace it with the answers, D1, D2, and D3. Find the determinant. To get the y, we leave the x column and the z column the same, and we replace the y column with the answers. To get this dz, we leave A and B, the x and y column alone, and we replace the c column, where the z's are, with the answers and find the determinants. So let's try one. I already set up the equations. First, we're just doing the part on the left of the equals, and I copied the first 2 columns over. So let's find the determinant of this one. We're going to multiply down. 1 times 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 times negative 2 times 2 is negative 8, plus negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Then we put a minus, and we're going to multiply up. 2 times 4 times negative 1 is negative 8. 3 times negative 2 times 1 would be plus negative 6. Plus 1 times 2 is 2. So let's finish this. 4 plus a negative 8 is negative 4. And negative 4 plus a negative 3 would be negative 7. Then we're going to have minus. Negative 8 plus negative 6 is negative 14. And negative 14 plus 2 would be negative 12. Now 7 minus a negative 12 gives us a positive 5. So our regular D is 5. For the next one, I have the D of x set up. I replaced the x values with the answers, negative 4, negative 6, and 3. Then I copied the y column, 2, 4, 3, and the z column, negative 1, negative 2, 1. Copy your first 2 columns over, and let's multiply. Going down, negative 4 times 1 is negative 16, plus 2 times negative 2 times 3 is negative 12, plus negative 1 times negative 6 times 3 is a positive 18. Now we put a minus. Let's multiply up. 3 times 4 times negative 1 is a negative 12, plus 3 times negative 2 times negative 4 is a positive 24, plus 1 times negative 6 times 2 is a negative 12. Now let's finish this. Negative 16 plus negative 12 is negative 28, plus 18 would give us negative 10. Bring over your minus. Negative 12 plus 24 is 12, and 12 minus 12 is 0. So we end up with 10 minus 0, which is 10. So our D of x is equal to let's see. We had a negative 10, actually. Let me fix that. Because in the beginning, we had negative 16 plus negative 12 was negative 28, plus 18 gave me a negative 10. So make sure you correct that. All right, let's look at the next slide. We're going to do the y's. I took the y column out and replaced it with the answers here in the middle. So we have negative 4, negative 6, 3. I copied those first 2 columns over here. Let's multiply down. 1 times negative 6 times 1 is negative 6, plus negative 4 times negative 2 times 2 is a positive 16, plus negative 1 times 3 is a negative 3. Then we put a minus, and let's multiply up. 2 times negative 6 times negative 1 gives me a positive 12, plus 3 times, that's a negative 2 there, it's hard to see, 3 times negative 2 times 1 is a negative 6, plus 1 times 1 times negative 4 is a negative 4. All right, let's finish this. Negative 6 plus 16 is a positive 10, and 10 minus 3 is equal to 7. Bring over your minus. 12 minus 6 is 6, and 6 minus 4, or 6 plus a negative 4, is 2. So in the end, 7 minus 2 gives us 5. So our dy is equal to 5. We've got one left. All right, dz, I kept the x and y column the same. I replaced the z column with the answers here, and I copied over the first two columns. So let's multiply down. 1 times 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 times negative 6 times 2 is negative 24, plus negative 4 times 1 times 3 is negative 12. Put your minus in the middle, and let's multiply up. Okay, 2 times 4 times negative 4 is a negative 32. Double check. Yep. 3 times negative 6 times 1 is a negative 18. We put plus negative 18. Plus 3 times 1 times 2 is a positive 6. Now let's finish this. 12 plus a negative 24 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus a negative 12 is a negative 24. Bring over your minus. Negative 32 and a negative 18 is a negative 50. Negative 50 plus 6 is going to give us a negative 44. Now, negative 24 minus negative 44 turns that into a plus, and we end up with a positive 20 for our dz. Now, to get our final answers, let's do that. For x, that's going to be dx over d. So, dx in this case was negative 10 and d was 5. We're going to have negative 10 over 5, which is negative 2. To get our y, that's going to be dy, which is 5. So it's dy over d. That's going to be 5 over 5, which is equal to 1. We have one more to go. To get our z, that's going to be dz over d. That would be 20 over 5, and that would equal 4. So our final answer would be negative 2, 1, 4. If you were to replace your x, y, and z in every single equation with negative 2, 1, 4, you could check to make sure you have this correct.